Today what I'd like to do is take the pack that I've just done for a trip that's taking me back to Great Britain, and I'm going to show you what's in these suitcases. So for the first part of this video, we'll talk about the luggage I'm taking. This is a Hartmann bag. Some say this bag's a little too large to be considered a carry-on, but I've never had trouble with it in its non-expanded state. We'll see if it works this year. I'm also taking a Hartmann shoulder bag. Hartmann products are usually well made. Hartmann was acquired by Samsonite a few years ago, but I've never had a problem with the quality. This is the luggage configuration I've chosen, but other people do things differently. Perhaps a backpack, a duffel bag, or a Rick Steves travel bag. For those that like Rick Steves products, there are so many configurations. What we're going to do now is look at this TSA lock that can be opened by TSA agents at the airport. Now, the thing about TSA locks is that they're really not all that safe, and on international flights, the authorities can even take the locks off completely, so don't be surprised if your lock gets cut off. These locks are really flimsy, so they aren't much of a deterrent to thieves. They may give you a little peace of mind, and I still use them on my suitcases, as you can see. Don't ever pack anything in your suitcases that you can't afford to lose, and that's my first tip of the day. Alrighty then, we're going to try to open the lock, and this is always a lot of fun trying to hold the camera and film these things. We're going to open up the bag, which is larger than I can reach around at the moment, so I can show you what I've packed. Every pack is different, so this time I have a friend who's from Texas and Mrs. Fritos. I've packed them in this plastic shoebox so the chips don't get smooshed. I'm also packing these hiking shoes. They're lightweight and waterproof, and they're about the size of regular tennis shoes. Always wrap your shoes in plastic bags so that dirt doesn't get on your clothes. I have baseball caps and t-shirts that are gifts for friends over there. It took me forever to pack this suitcase, so this is a real treat for you guys. I'm unpacking and repacking just for you. Now the bottom of the bag has ridges for the luggage handle to slide into, but rather than wasting this space, I'm filling it with small soft goods like socks and scarves. On top of this, I've laid a couple of flat things to make the bottom of this side of the suitcase. So you'll notice I have an Atlas of Britain as well as the London A to Z. The London A to Z, by the way, is something I always recommend to folks if you're traveling in and around London. It highlights the streets and landmarks of the city, and you can also get this as an app on your smartphone. Then we're going to replace the gifts and shirts, but you can see how everything fits very precisely, and that's one reason why I suggest a trial pack or two. You can see what works best for you, whether you can carry the weight, whether the luggage configuration you've chosen is right for you, etc. This is actually a trial pack of mine that's merged into my final pack. I'd like to show you how I pack this side of the bag with packing cubes. Packing cubes that you buy in the store are actually typically made of mesh. See, I don't know if you can see, but these are made of mesh, and they allow you to pack sort of modularly, which is kind of cool. So you're not rummaging around in your suitcase. You're able to just lift and pull whatever you need from your suitcase. I'm going to undo this one so that you can see inside. Okay, here we are. And this one contains my shirt. Actually, I think this one contains my pants. Yes, it does. On the top, I have folded and placed some pajamas. And inside, you'll see I've placed 3 pairs of pants. And I probably could fit one more, but I don't want to overpack. So that's what I've got in this cube. Now, if you want to, what you can do is save those heavy plastic bags, as you see, that come with your sheets or your sheets or blankets or whatever. These are really good for packing and using as travel cubes. They're waterproof, they're sturdy, and they don't cost you a thing. So, as you see in here, I have actually sort of made do, but I've rolled some of my shirts to put in here. I've got 3 shirts. I got a little cover up, and I've put some of my t-shirts that are gifts in here just as filler. Also, what I was able to do, because I had the room, and these are just, I can't talk well enough about these things that I got at REI. I actually got this teal one on sale. But basically what they are, you can see on the front, is it's called a travel stuff pack. This one is a stuff tote. And if you look at the picture, it shows you that when you open this little pouch, this is the bag that you'll get. And this little travel tote here actually does have shoulder straps, so you can wear it sort of like a day pack. This one here will look more like a backpack. And since I have the room, and since my travel partner said she might need one, and I can always use more space for things like souvenirs, I've got these two totes. Right? So these fit back in. You'll zip it back up, and that's pretty much it. So one thing I do want to show, that we do have some space here on top. I really haven't utilized it as much as I could have. There's a pack here, or pocket, that I have not used. This one here I've only used for things like a compression bag, a trash bag, which is going to double as my dirty laundry bag. And also, I believe inside that trash bag we've got Ziploc bags. As many as you think you're going to need. Yeah, they're inside. They're actually inside the trash bag. Okay, now we're going to start with the Hartman shoulder bag. For this type of bag, you can see it has a grip on it. It has pockets here, here, and here. Also, there are a couple on the inside. One thing that I was only just recently made aware of is, on many of these bags, there's going to be a strap. This strap fits over the handle of your carry-on bag so that it doesn't fall off when you're carrying your shoulder bag on top of your carry-on. Okay? All right, with that, I'm going to turn this thing around again so that we can see the front. It is very difficult filming and doing this at the same time. I should have gotten a friend to help me with this. But anyway, I hope this pack is helpful. Okay, I'm going to open this up. We've got quite a bit of space in the center section. On the top, and that's one thing I do want to make clear, is put things in the order that you think you will use them. This thing on the top contains my entire trip record. It's a very important piece of my packing and my navigation. To sort of show you what I've done with this, you can look inside and you can see I have a travel book. This travel book includes many things about locations, maps, to get places, my calendar, my itinerary, all of that. When you look further in, you'll see more tabs, things like, trying to see that so that you can put this in the way so that you can see it with the light. So we've got events here. Those are tickets, my travel insurance, lodging, further maps, and these are full maps. Transportation, so things like train tickets, rental car information, and all of that. And I have a spiral notebook so that I can make notes if I want to. I have found, though, that using the voice recorder on my phone is a much better way of journaling a trip. You don't take half as much time to do it, and then you can just transcribe when you get home. Okay? So we pulled that out, important piece. Oh, if you want to know where to get this, I mean, this is like Office Max or Office Depot, and then just use regular Office folders on the inside. Now I'm traveling to England, which is typically cold. If you're traveling to a warm country, you probably won't be packing like this at all. So you might want to just write this one off. But if you're traveling to a cold country, what many people will tell you is layer, layer, layer. And we're no different. Even though we're going in May, the temperatures are between 40 and about 70. So you never know, depending on where you're at any given time, what the temperature is going to be or the weather conditions. This is a Columbia fleece jacket, and I will put that inside. And again, I just did this because I'm trying to make the best use of space. If the weather gets cold and rainy, then I have an external waterproof jacket. If it's warm and rainy, I just have the waterproof jacket. Also make sure that it's breathable. This one is Gore-Tex, which is really good for weatherproofing against wicking away water and such. But if it's not raining and you're cold, you have the fleece jacket. See how that works? Sort of mix and match. Inside this main compartment, I have some things that are going to help me if I decide to check the carry-on piece of luggage. If I carry that on and it's accidentally lost, I have, usually you'll pack like one extra day of clothes. I was able to fit 2 in here. So I've got 2 pairs of pants, some underwear, 2 shirts, and that should keep me going. Next thing we can talk about are medications. Now, when you're traveling, you try to keep things in the original bottle. If not, what you might want to do is I have a note here that's just a printout of my medications from the doctor's office. That's just in case there are any issues. If you want to, you can use these pill organizers, and I have done that. I've got 2 weeks worth here. Let's see if there's anything else I need to tell you. I use leftover medicine bottles for many things. Let's see if I can open this and show you. Okay. Oof, I dropped. Here we go. So I have inside here a couple of thumb drives. I have earplugs. You can never have too many earplugs, especially if you're traveling with a loud sleeper. I've also been able to pack other things like SIM cards and things like that in these bottles. So they're really, you know, I save them and I use them. So good stuff. We're going to go back into the bag. Believe it or not, I have a Texan friend that is in Cumbria, and she wanted beef jerky, so that's what she's getting. I have a bag for my electronics, which will include probably will include my phone at some point. It's not in there just now. But you need to make sure you have a converter and an adapter when you go overseas, not just one. Make sure you have both. Double check with the people that are working in the luggage section if you don't know what I'm talking about. The converter will convert their volts to ours. The adapter will convert at the wall because they have completely different wall plugs than we do. So just remember that. I have a GPS, even though I will have my phone as well, and I'll be using that. I have backup plans for backup plans most of the time, and so many of you might not want to do that, but, you know, if you do, then you're good. Oh, and so with the GPS, and with your phone as well, by the way, you can use the regular car adapters, and they will work in the UK. So just the regular car plug adapters. And I have some headphones for stereo headphones, which if the snoring gets too loud, then we'll use those. So here we have the 3-1-1 rule in effect, and that is you get no more than 3-ounce bottles in a 1-quart bag per passenger. Now, if I was traveling with a whole family, I could have 5 of these probably. You know, if I had like 2 adults and 3 kids, there'd be 5 of these bags. For me, there's just 1. So they'll be inspecting to make sure, both coming and going, that you are adhering to this liquid rule. One thing I'll tell you is England is not a third world nation. If you can't fit something into your quart bag that you think you need, you can probably get it there. So don't worry too much about that. I have a makeup bag. I try to minimize my makeup, so I just have some brushes, powder, a little bit of eyeshadow. I've got a magnifying mirror just because I'm old and need it. This is something that is optional, and I tell people don't take it if it's not a must-have, but I think a couple of these places that we're going may not have a blow dryer, and I just happen to have a small travel dryer that's got a UK plug on it. This will not need a converter, but most of the things that you have that are American will, so that's the only caveat there. Alrighty, let's see what else we've got. Aha! Tip of the day. If you get hungry and you're around someplace that doesn't have food, then you might want to make sure you have some snacks. So I've got some nuts and dried fruit. That'll do me if I don't have anything else around. Over here, in this pocket, I'm going to show you something. It's difficult to find space for everything sometimes. And this is going to be where I pack my camera. So the camera is going to be in a case, but I also have a very small purse that I'm taking. It's a cross-the-body purse, has a very long strap. It's a very small purse, but it'll be just fine for what I need. I've got that in there. I've got an RFID bag that includes if you open it up, let me do that for you. Again, really hard to do this with, there we go. So this is an RFID bag. I have my passport over here. And then I have my global entry card. If you want to know about global entry, go to the government website that talks about it. Just Google global entry and you'll be able to find it. I tell people all the time, don't get your cash on the state side. They're going to charge you an arm and a leg. I've seen it. Don't bother getting your cash on this side. Wait till you get over there. Now, the caveat for me this time is I had a friend that came back and didn't convert his cash. So he made a really good deal with me to give me his cash, and basically I didn't get charged a conversion fee. The conversion fees will kill you over on this side, and they're not great over there, but at least they're better. So when you get to the UK and you're in Heathrow Airport, there will be ATM machines. Use your debit card. When you use your debit card, it's just like it is over here. You'll get however much cash you want out. A couple of things about credit cards and debit cards over there. The debit card, make sure that your bank knows that you're going to be in England. Make sure all your credit card companies know that you're going to be there and for how long. Otherwise, you could get your card shut down. They might think it's a fraudulent charge. Also, when you're looking for credit cards to use over there, look for a card that doesn't have a transaction fee. All cards will have a conversion fee, but some like to kick it up another notch and add on a transaction fee. But there are plenty of cards out there that don't. I use the Mileage Plus card, the Explorer card from Chase. You also get reward miles from that, and you get to check in a bag for free and priority boarding and lots of other cool stuff. So that's just a plug for that card. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. The other thing is, let's see. Oh yes, when your debit card, you want to make sure, or try to anyway, use a bank or a credit union that doesn't charge ATM fees anywhere in the world, like my credit union. So anywhere in the world I go, I get those ATM fees bumped back every single time. That saves you, you wouldn't believe how much. So just a little tip there. Okay. What I was going to show you though is with this wallet, with the purse, and here's some little cosmetic wedgies that I use, I can use that as padding in this pocket when I put my camera in. So my camera is not going to be up next to this edge getting bounced about and broken. We're going to knock on wood for that. But since I'm going to be carrying this myself, I'll be more careful with it than I'm sure the baggage handlers would be. But that's what you do. You put I would do that. I put the camera in first and then pad it with these very soft things on the ends. I don't believe I have anything in the front bag. Oh yes, I do. So the one thing that I have here is a wash rag, and believe it or not, they don't usually have them in England. They just never thought they needed them. So if you want a wash rag of your own, make sure you take one. I'm checking pockets just to make sure I have told you everything, and I believe I have. I'm going to back up so you can see this mess that I've just created for your benefit only, and hopefully you will have some ideas on how to pack for the UK. I really enjoyed giving you this talk on travel packing. If you want to know more, I just totally enjoy chatting with people, so drop me a line. If I don't know the answer, I'll look it up. And thank you very much.